I gotta hear you out there. Are you ready? Once again, my name is David Garibaldi, and not only do I need that energy, but it's okay to make some noise, too. Let's go. I gotta hear you out there.
To rest, don't you cry no more.
Las Vegas, come on. Before we go any further, are there any veterans with us tonight? Can you just raise your hand if you served? Make some noise for these heroes, men and women with us tonight. So let me ask again, are you feeling good? I got more, is that okay? I know you have a lot of questions right now. Those of you not familiar with what I do, I know one of the questions is probably about dry cleaning. We'll address that at the meet and greet. The next question, I'm sure you're asking yourself, is how does someone even get into something like this? Jumping around, throwing paint, sweating profusely on stage. But believe it or not, I actually used to do paintings larger and faster than these. Yeah. Now it was graffiti and it was illegal and it had to be fast because I had to run from the police. Now there was one particular night that got me thinking maybe this is not the best route to take. It was just a normal night, what most teenagers do on a weekend, spray painting a wall illegally. In the distance, we saw the red and blue lights, this silhouette hop out. I'm pretty sure he went down and tied his shoes, like he was ready for the foot race. And then it felt like Usain Bolt was just running after us. And as we were running, there was this 8-foot stone wall between two very different scenarios. The obvious, spending the evening with one of Sacramento's finest police officers and fastest. The other, making it on the other side of this wall, having an opportunity to make some new decisions. Or actually third, I had to run faster than at least one of my friends. I made it over this wall. First thing I told myself was, David, you were out of shape. The second was a question. It was, what are you doing with this creativity that was given to you? You didn't ask for it. You didn't buy it. You stole some things. You didn't steal this. What are you doing with this opportunity, this gift? So the answer, I kept asking myself this, it was about another month or so afterwards. The answer came in the form of a high school animation teacher. He is about almost 7 feet tall. If you could just imagine Darth Vader with red hair. I know, just imagine that. He's like, look, David, I don't want to change who you are. You are a unique individual. I don't want to change how you create. I just want to provide another opportunity for you to do this. So he said, let's make a deal. The more time you spend in my classroom creating, the less time you spend in the streets painting. I thought, this deal doesn't cost me anything. And then he said, also, I'm going to teach you how to make money with your art. And I was like, let's go. So I signed up for this animation class. I was learning how to bring my images to life, how to use sound to tell story and movement. I thought, I'm on this new path, this new direction now. And then my senior year rolls around. My counselor called me into her office. I'm thinking, I must have art school applications lined up. They must be begging for me. Want to sign me up? So I sit down. I'm like, so what art college are we going to? She's like, David, art college, you're not going to graduate. I know you're enjoying art class, but there's like 7 other hours of the day to do classes, right? And you're not doing any of them. So by the time I figured out what I wanted to do my senior year, I had this awakening, this opportunity, this mentor that changed my life, my perspective. And now I'm going back to the beginning. Didn't graduate on time. After high school, working odd jobs, moving around. Art was still a passion. I just was not pursuing in the way that I even thought was possible, besides going to art school. Now, eventually, I lost the one good job I had. I was about to be evicted from my apartment. I just thought, look, what do I have to lose? Let's pursue this art again. I had this art teacher still in my ear and my heart. So I went to buy my art supplies this time. I did not steal them. I went down to this local jazz club in Sacramento, California. I set up my little easel, my brushes, my paint. I started doing these smaller paintings live in front of an audience. And I was like, there's something here, I don't know what it is, but I was just acting on inspiration in that moment. So we just kept going. Eventually, a few months passed in this journey, a friend of mine was telling me about this artist, Denny Dent. He's like, trying to describe it to me. He's like, this artist on stage throwing paint, sweating, and screaming at the audience. And I was like, that sounds insane. Who would ever do that? Time passed, I was at his apartment, we were working on my new website, and across the room, I see this massive painting on the walls. When you walk up close to it, it was just splattered and splash paint. And then when you step back, it was this distinctive, beautiful portrait of Jimi Hendrix. He's like, that's the artist I was telling you about. He's a performer, entertainer. And I was like, oh, well, I have this background in dance and music and art. Why not give it a try? In that moment, I had this passion to create, but it was time to start putting action behind it. So the next day, I was in my garage, throwing paint around, hoping it would look like anything. Naturally, my landlord was concerned. He came outside, he's like, why are you throwing paint all over my walls? So I thought, since he's out here, get his opinion. So I turned to him, and I said, Dad, what do you think? He's like, David, that is an amazing Chewbacca. I love it. That's supposed to be Marilyn Monroe. So I will get back to work. I kept practicing, putting this action behind this passion I had to create, eventually performing on stages at local nightclubs instead of in the back by the bar. Started doing local charity and corporate events and began to travel a little bit within the first 5 years. I was 20 years old when I started. About 25, I was doing about 100 shows a year. And then I started realizing that this platform and opportunity was about to be and become bigger. And it wasn't because of fame or the amount of shows. It was something much more important. Can I give you another painting right now? Can I give you another painting right now? We're going to keep this day going. I'm going to share what that next phase was. But are you ready? Let's go.
America. Tidal wave coming across the Mexican border. Wide back gal and it's cheaper by the barrel. Just don't get busted singing Christmas carols. That's us, that's right. Gotta love this American ride. Both ends of the ozone burning. Funny how the world keeps turning. Look, mom, no hands. I love this American ride. Gotta love this American ride. Mama gets her rocks off, watching Desperate Housewife. Daddy works his ass off, paying for the good life. Kids on the YouTube learning how to be cool. Living in a cruel world pays to be a mean girl. That's us, that's right. Gotta love this American ride. Both ends of the ozone burning. Funny how the world keeps turning. Look, no hands. I love this American